Hey everybody, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We've had some upgrades to the truck. I did a little job off camera. It's quite a long job actually, to be fair, and got some money, and I thought I would do the truck up a little bit. So I think I spent like 100,000 on this in total. I really like the three-tone kind of paintwork. I went for the red, white and blue. I guess you've covered England and the US when you do that. It got the kind of extended cab and just kind of chromed it up a little bit more bling. It's got a bit more grunt to it as well. And yeah, we're going to head into a new job. I hope you guys are all doing very well. I'm doing pretty good myself. I think we're going to be delivering some insulation panels. Was that what I'm doing? I thought that was what I was doing. Maybe that's not what I'm doing. Let's go back and have a look, shall we? Oh, hang on. Let's go freight market. And then select cargo to see route details. Oh, we might as well just pick up one of these jobs, hadn't we? A bit of lumber, something like that. Takes us down to Utah. It's not a massive job, but it's a little bit of cash. Oh, so sorry. I'm on a job, that's why. I thought I had started a job. Yeah, this one. Ah, okay, right, yeah, we've got an articulated lorry, and we're going down to Colorado. Okay. Confused myself a little bit there. Oh, I've done it again. Right, let's move away from this thing. That's it. And let's go pick up our insulation panels. Might be going the wrong way. I think this is one of those kind of like heavy loads type things, so I think you get a little bit extra for it in that case. And it's a pretty long trailer as well. So yes, could be a lot of fun to be had here. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. It's been about a week or so since I recorded anything. Been quite an eventful week in some regards. Only that we've had a bank holiday weekend here in the UK. I was working most of it, to be fair. But yeah, very busy. August one's always a little bit funny because I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on in August in terms of the like, this is a really long, this is a really long lorry. The trailer, sorry. This is going to be fun. I think the hardest bits here is going to be kind of getting out of this place more than anything. Yeah, but as I was saying, yeah, I think the August bank holiday in the UK. So I don't know if they have these kind of things in other parts of the world. We have what's called bank holidays, and I guess traditionally they were, as the name suggests, bank holidays, and what they've kind of grown into is 3-day weekends for most people. We get 2 in May, we get 1 in August, and that other times off are kind of around your kind of more standard holidays like Easter, Christmas, stuff like that. Sometimes you get extra ones for different things like Jubilee. There was rumours that if England were to win the Euros, we might be getting an extra bank holiday this year. That never happened. I don't think it would have happened, to be completely honest with you. I think it would have been an unofficial bank holiday where a lot of people just took the day off. But yeah, there's a truck coming here. I see you, buddy. Okay. Yeah, I think it would have just been like an unofficial one where a lot of people just phoned in sick to work anyway. But yeah, I think in general they are notoriously times where a lot of English people will kind of let loose and how do we say, get very, very drunk usually, for whatever reasons. I think actually, to be fair, from when I was younger to now, that happens less. I don't know if it's just maybe because I'm not involved because I'm not young anymore, I guess, so I don't go out drinking as much. But I feel like nowadays, because there's more events on, there's more festivals, there's more kind of things to do, like, rather than, you know, a lot of kind of younger people just going down the pub or whatever, they will choose to go and do things, which I think is a much better thing in a way. And I think obviously there's still, I'm sure, a lot of young people who just go down the pub. Like, festivals are expensive and things like that, so I totally get it. But I think that there's a lot more things going on nowadays than there used to be on bank holidays. So, you know, there's a lot more options for people around to do. But yeah, for me, it was I pretty much worked all of it, to be honest with you. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that was a lot of fun. We did have the traditional rainy day. Or usually, traditionally, August bank holiday weekends, it's just comically it will just rain constantly because people get the time off, and then it just rains basically. But it just rained on the Saturday. Otherwise, we had some pretty good weather. It's just been an interesting summer, I think, this year in the UK, because we've had a little spell where we went really hot and we got up to about 30, but otherwise it's really stayed around the sort of 23, 24 mark, which is pretty tolerable for most people, I think, around there. So, although I did see, I think it was actually September when we had the kind of major heat wave last year, so we'll see what happens. Looks like we've got a quite steep hill coming up here, which could be fun, especially with this huge, great big long trailer we've got. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Apparently I can do 65 down here, but I think that feels a little bit much. It's some pretty good views though, I'll give them that. I mean, the texture rendering of the far off distances is a bit of a joke, but you have to give this game dues. It's quite old now, and they are doing their best, you know. So we've got kind of should we jump out of the truck and have a little look and slow down a little bit? We've got, I'm not sure what this is off to the left. It's something, ooh, I kind of missed that turning a little bit there. That was nearly very interesting as we nearly hurtled off into the thing. I'm actually going to jump back in there to the cab. It's a little bit easier to drive this thing at the minute. I also had this week, rather excitingly, my new sofa arrive, which just shows, I think, the fact that was exciting to me, quite how middle-aged I am. But I've been very excited for the sofa because we've had to wait 3 months for it from when we initially ordered it, I guess. I've never quite understood why sofas take so long. I understand them making them to order because they're big things and they're expensive, but I don't understand 3 months, to be completely honest with you. But it was the one we really wanted at a price that was affordable for us, and we are very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. My old sofa was getting on a fair bit, and it was one of those corner sofas, and we liked it, but it'd gotten kind of beaten up quite a bit. And one of the things I really wanted on the new sofa was I wanted it to recline, because I'm a man and we just love things like that, don't we? But my wife, I think, was a little bit more hesitant as to why we would need that. But actually, as soon as we started testing sofas and going out and doing all that kind of thing, which is such a fun thing to go and do, isn't it, really? Such a middle-aged thing, but so fun to go out and, test sofas. But it was really good fun, and as soon as we kind of started looking at the recliners and realised that A, they were within our price range, and B, they were really good, we were like, yeah, this is kind of now become a kind of a deal breaker that we would have a reclining sofa. It reclines, so it's like a 3-seater, and then either end kind of reclines basically, so we can both kind of recline on it. And then we also got one where the middle back flips down, and it's got cup holders, it's got charging sockets, like actual proper plug sockets, as well as USB chargers, and a Bluetooth speaker built into the sofa, which the Bluetooth speaker didn't really worry us very much at all. We've got like the kind of the Nest stuff all around the house, but when I tried it, it was actually really good. And I was like, you know, it would be really good fun is if you were kind of reclining on this sofa, had your switch on, and you kind of hook the switch up to the Bluetooth speaker. That could be pretty good fun. I haven't done it yet, but I may well try that out, because yeah, it was actually pretty good quality. Yeah, so it's just really nice sofa. Wasn't cheap, but it wasn't at the max of our kind of limit. And obviously we brought it on interest-free finance, because that's just what you do nowadays, isn't it, really? Right, I have stopped. There's a truck there who has stopped for me, I think. Give him a beep. And off we head again. It's funny that that's been like the most exciting thing of my week so far, but it really has. It was funny though, because when we got the delivery, we got the delivery time, and it said between 7:15 and 10:15 in the morning, and I was like, they're blatantly going to show up at like 7:15, because it's obviously the first one of the day, and they're going to want to, you know, get it in and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, sure enough, 7 a.m. we get a phone call. Oh yeah, we're a few minutes away. So got it in nice and early on the day, with no issues whatsoever, which was really nice, because they do make sofas nowadays, so they're a bit more modular, which seems to make a heck of a lot more sense. It's a giant lake over there. This is nice. Let's drop our speed limit a bit. I don't know where we are, but it's really nice around here. This is a very interesting corner with some parked trucks there, which we might have to just... I think if we went up there, we could do a little thing, but with this trailer, that's not going to happen, is it? Let's face it. So there's a little... is it up here, actually? A little camera viewpoint here. We could probably stop in here, couldn't we? And do that? Why not? There's enough space for us to get all the way around, I think. Here we go. The town of McCall. Have a look. Take this opportunity to have some of my coffee. Population 2,991. It looks very picturesque. Shout out if anybody lives in McCall. If you've ever been to Steaks and Spirits restaurant, I'm going to guess it's a real thing. I think. And you got a lovely lake as well. I was thinking about this the other day, because I was what was I doing? I was either reading something or watching something, like a video maybe online, and these people were kind of visiting this Norwegian town, I think, and in this Norwegian town was like incredibly stunning, like in a valley, kind of fjords, kind of, you can kind of imagine it, very green, very lush. It wasn't Norway, it was Switzerland. I apologise. And I remember now the exact video. I was watching Articulate ASMR, who's very, very good. And he was doing a little thing of Switzerland, because I think he went to Switzerland. And I was watching this and I was thinking to myself, do these people who live here do you think they appreciate this? Because they probably do, and I'm not saying like they're bad people or anything, but what a stunning place to live. And I was thinking that when they go maybe to other places on holiday, are they just a bit like, yeah, it's alright, it's a bit meh? McCall, thank you, McCall. Because I was like, if you just live somewhere with such outstanding natural beauty, and then you kind of go somewhere else, could it live up to where you actually live? You've become so accustomed to this incredible view and all this kind of stuff. Does it actually kind of live up to the, what you have every day? I don't know. I live in a nice place, but I wouldn't say I live in somewhere that's kind of outstanding natural beauty. Like I saw in Switzerland, it was ridiculous. I wonder, because you kind of look at that and you think, why would you move anywhere? Why would you go anywhere? You have just this incredible place every day. But I guess variety is the spice of life, and maybe going into a big city is quite exciting for people, because if you don't live there, I guess. Or maybe even going somewhere which people wouldn't think would be that, just because it's different, you would have that kind of view. I don't know. But yeah, shout out if you live in McCall, or even if you live in Switzerland. Just that's what people do nowadays, isn't it? They just shout people out. Don't really get exactly what that means, but it does feel like something that you should be doing as a YouTuber. I'll tell you one thing which I think has changed very much in the kind of 3 years which I was kind of away from this channel, and kind of jumping back on now. This is quite a tight little bend. Ooh, it's very picturesque around here, isn't it? And that thing is TikTok. I mean, YouTube used to be the place for kind of cringeworthy adult babies to kind of go and just record utter nonsense and somehow make incredible amounts of money off of it. And now YouTube feels like such a grown-up place compared to TikTok, which, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong, I actually do really enjoy TikTok. I think there's some incredible stuff on there, some incredible creators, and I think the space where TikTok really shines is these kind of short comedy kind of sketches a lot, because I remember back in the day YouTube used to have a lot of that, but or Vine even, but Vine obviously shut down, and then YouTube, the way the ad money worked, it basically meant you had to record videos over 10 minutes, which just didn't work. So you lost a lot of animators, and you lost a lot of kind of short comedy sketch things, which was really sad, because they used to be really good. And TikTok has become a really good place, I think, for those people to go to, and some people can make really good money on that type of thing. It also, unfortunately, has become a place where just wow, some of the people on there, you don't know if they're playing a character or not. Would be the nicest thing I could say about them. But yeah, and the other thing I think which is kind of interesting is, back when you had kind of more Vines and you had that kind of stuff on the shorter YouTube videos, it was mostly dominated by Americans, but there's a really big British scene of cringeworthy TikTokers who just seem to do absolutely nothing and come up with a few kind of catchphrases, and you can bypass the nearby road station. Cool. come up with a few catchphrases. Maybe once upon a time had a little stage of being viral for God knows what, and then just kind of seemed to live off that, really. And actually, the other thing of some people, there's a lot, which I quite like, there's a lot of kind of neurodivergent people who I think, if I was being honest, a lot of people used to kind of laugh at, and actually have grown kind of a big following because people have started to kind of be a bit like, oh, actually, this person's pretty cool, or this person seems quite nice, or it's interesting looking at their world of this person, or what they're doing. And it's a real interesting place, TikTok. It very much reminds me of the early stages of YouTube, or the times when we used to have Vines and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people thought it would kind of fade away, and I think it probably is it must be the biggest like social media platform currently around. It's an interesting world anyway, I'll say that. But as I said, I think there's some really good things it does. If anybody's ever watched the Nigel and Marmalade series on there, which is done by a British guy, it's honestly one of the funniest things I've ever watched. I really love the episodes of it, and the fact that one guy kind of makes it and does all the voices himself is super cool. And I think because the actual videos are maybe a minute and a half long, YouTube just wouldn't work. I think you have to, I don't know if you have to be, obviously YouTube now has YouTube Shorts, so and I think he does post on YouTube as well, but it never used to, and obviously YouTube Shorts have only come in since TikTok became such a kind of dominant thing, so they've kind of tried to kind of claw back maybe some of the market share they've lost to TikTok. Maybe, I don't know really how it's affected it, because obviously I guess YouTube used to get hit by something like Twitch, and then they went into kind of streaming, and then I couldn't honestly tell you who's bigger on streaming right now, Twitch, YouTube, or any of the other kind of platforms. I don't really think that there's too much in it. I think the fact that YouTube is quite diverse kind of means that they have a kind of bigger share, because obviously Twitch only does streaming, and YouTube you can do videos and all sorts now. What does this guy do? Bloody hell. Thought we were going to witness a crash then. It's funny how these kind of things come and go. I mean, when I was a kid, I say kid, I was probably a late teenager, and you had things like MySpace, Bebo, stuff like that. Facebook then started to become the dominant kind of thing, and then you then kind of came in Twitter and things like that as well. It's just funny how these things kind of change, kind of work out. So we don't want to go right here. We want to carry on a bit, and then we go around that curvy looking road off to the right there, which that'll be interesting, driving this thing around there. It hasn't been too bad driving this actually so far. And we haven't had a crash yet. Why did I say that? We've got to take this kind of quite slow. Okay, that's better. And then it's all clear behind us, so that's cool. Stop the indicator. And now we can head up the highway. Is that circus? It looks like a giant pumpkin. Anybody know what that is? Let me know. I can't even see the road marking, so I can't tell you which lane I'm even in, because it just looks white. So we're just going to kind of sit in the middle here a little bit. I've got a feeling it might head down to like 2 lanes, and then I think next kind of sleep spot we get, which isn't too far off, so not here, but the next one we get we'll stop at because we need to sleep, and we can get some real fuel as well. But there's not a chance we're going to make 15 hours without sleeping. We might even have to split this into 2 this video. It's quite a long one. I've really been enjoying jumping back into American Truck Simulator. I always try to record these videos first when I do a little batch of recordings, simply because I find it I find that in this one I get to kind of chat a bit more about life and stuff like that. Whereas in the other games I play, whether it's like Fallout or Dragon Age or something like that, I'm more talking about the game and kind of what's going on in there. So I kind of get this out of the way within this one, you know. And it is a really relaxing game to play as well. If you haven't picked up it, it's good fun. You know, and if you're more into the kind of obviously Euro stuff, then the Euro Truck Simulator is really cool as well. Just flatter trucks, basically. Oh, that was a rest spot actually there. I could have used that one. Never mind. Mountain Home, 1 mile. Lodgings, exit 95. Okay, so we might have something coming up here. Food, exit 95. Gas, exit 95. Okay. This is exit 95. Do we want to go? Nah, we're gonna risk it for a biscuit. Famous last words. This is where it comes up and says that's the last stop for the next 100 miles. You know, we're not doing too bad though. So we're in Idaho. Just coasting down this hill. Haven't even needed to hit the gas. When you really think about it, I think when you play this game as well, you kind of realise that the infrastructure of these countries, be it European countries, American countries, is so vital to get things around. We take it for granted living in these countries. If you do, you might not, but if you do live in these countries where you have good roads, you have good rail, you have, all this kind of stuff, which, allows stuff to get delivered all around the country is pretty cool. Now this one looks like a really nice, easy one to kind of come off at, so I think we are going to go and do this now. It's a nice wind farm here. I find something quite elegant about wind farms. I don't know about you, but I quite like them in a weird way. I mean, I prefer them to a whacking great big power station sitting up there, pumping out, coal fumes everywhere, or oil, or gas. Right. Okay. I think there's a helicopter going overhead here as well. Right. So we will obviously be trucking a bit at night now, as a result of having slept, but At least we won't have that the same chaos we had previously, where I think we were just falling asleep constantly, which is quite nice. Right, anyone coming? No. And then we're going to have to get up some speed on the slip road to let these guys know that we are coming across. There we go. There's quite a lot of places to stop on this road, to be fair. Okay. Twin Falls, Sun Valley. Do you think some places just called themselves that because it sounded nice? I mean, in England, we rarely have. I think because of the way England is, like I don't know if this is the same in a lot of countries nowadays, but like we don't really have any new towns or new places, right? If generally everything we build is kind of, most of the things we build, we don't build a new town, if that makes sense. We add on to things because that's just, you know, we've built enough towns and places like that, and so we don't. But I don't know if in new places, like, how do they come about naming somewhere? I don't know. Would be the answer there, wouldn't it? Who decides it, you know? Or even, I guess, some places change their names sometimes, don't they? I guess that sometimes that's more of a political thing. I'm looking at you, Russia. Milk, deliciously natural. What's this thing over to the left here? Looks like some sort of like slide. Dance for Pedro. I've never seen that sign before. I think it is some sort of slide, like a giant slide. Very cool. The world's most happy cattle. And they got some great billboards going on here in Idaho, haven't they? Was Napoleon Dynamite set in Idaho then? Is that the... I've seen Napoleon Dynamite, I loved it, but I have not seen it for a long time. I love Idaho. I guess maybe it was. It feels like it would have been. But you never know, I guess. Getting hit in the edge there a little bit too much, I think. Salt Lake. Okay. Oh, we're going off him. Was not concentrating. Yeah, we need to slow down a touch here. We've actually done really well so far. I haven't had any sort of violation or crash. I think we might need to weigh in here. Yes, I had a feeling. Okay. So the weigh station is up here. I don't know how it's going to weigh me because we're so long. It feels a little redundant. Maybe this whole bit is like a wow, we're nearly £100,000. That's pretty heavy. And yeah, I don't know if you noticed actually, but I have also upgraded the inside of the truck quite a bit. We've got the premium kind of interior, which is why you've also got the little sat nav there as well. I changed my knob on the steering wheel to a chrome one rather than a wood one, so I felt it suited it a little bit better. Although I'm not too sure on it, but we'll see. I think I already had the same steering wheel and stuff. You can make phone calls on it, that's cool. Yeah, so just kind of we've pretty much souped this up to basically as much as I think I would go on it. And as I say, I think it cost me about 100,000 to do that, which is kind of a bit crazy. I could have just bought another truck, but hey ho, off we go. I think that's one of the most fun things about this game, though, is the fact that you earn money on it, and then you can just go and upgrade your truck and do all sorts of bits on it. Like, it's got a really good loop, I think, in terms of that, because realistically, the upgrading of the truck doesn't really do that much. Like, sure, I would need a beefier, like more horsepower to pull larger loads, which in turn kind of make you more money. So there is that, but the rest of the stuff, it's all cosmetic, and you know, so you don't necessarily feel like you are, you know, getting that much of an advantage, I guess, by having a souped up truck. It's more about, I guess, the levels you are and what you've unlocked in terms of jobs and stuff, more than anything. So yeah, but I think it's got, for a game that is you know, when you kind of turn around and if you ever try and turn around and explain American Truck Simulator to someone, or Euro Truck Simulator, and you're like, yeah, basically you're a truck driver, you deliver things, it has a surprising amount of depth and complexity to it, really, which I guess the actual job does as well, to be fair. So, and also like a lot of customization and all sorts of things like that, basically. So yeah, there's a lot going on, I think, in the game. Some of these kind of simulator games, they kind of come out and they're a bit kind of, it's almost like they play off being a bit of a meme in a way, like Bus Simulator or Construction Simulator or something like that, I guess, where I find with those games there's probably like an hour's worth of good gameplay and then it's just a bit meh. Whereas I think these kind of truck simulator games, you know, American and Euro, and the stuff that SCS does, has really kind of elevated these sort of games out of this sort of meme status that they maybe once had, to being kind of people legitimately kind of, well, spending thousands on rigs and things like that, which is pretty cool because they are a lot of fun. And I think I played them to begin with because I was a bit like, oh, that just sounds a bit silly, you know, let's see what this is like. And then kind of not getting hooked, but then just being like, yeah, this is definitely a game where, I mean, this is definitely a motivation for me to get a PC again, because they don't have these on Xbox or PlayStation, which I find very strange because I'm literally using an Xbox controller to drive this truck right now. So the fact that you can't get this on Xbox, I'm guessing it's because it's a smaller company and they, you know, making ports and things like that would be quite expensive, and they've probably got a good demographic of people on PC, and they're just like, yeah, you know, maybe there's no point in doing this. Plus, you know, if you released it on Xbox or PlayStation now, you know, how do you price it? How many do you price it, and then all of the expansions are also all like priced, because then people would be like, why am I spending £150 on this game? You know. But then if you kind of priced it out and went, okay, it's £60, but you get all the you know, current DLC, people on PC might be like, hey, what the hell, I've, you know, been paying, you know, I've paid hundreds of pounds over the last God knows how long, and might feel a little bit forgotten about in that sense. So I kind of think it yeah, it's not an easy thing to do necessarily. So what we might do is the next kind of gas station we come up to, we might kind of fill up, and then we might turn this into a bit of a two-parter. Looks like exit 362, we've got some gas. We're getting a little bit low. It's not too bad, but you never know. Looks like we kind of come off here, I think, and then turn right for gas. So let's do that. And yeah, then we'll turn this into two-parter, because we're really not even halfway there, I don't think, of the 1,000+ miles we had to travel with this. But we've probably done a lot of the hard work of going in and around the towns and stuff like that, which is where, when your kind of miles per hour is quite slow, that's the sort of stuff you've got to watch out for. We go right here. I don't need to take it. We can go right here. We just missed that by an inch. Yeah, I think I might have gone the wrong way, judging by the arrows. Never mind. Whoopsie. Let's fill this bad boy up. Right. Maybe we'll just turn it around and then get ready for the next episode. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Yeah, I hope you have a really good week, and I hope you had a good bank holiday if you're in the UK, and I hope you had just a generally good weekend if you weren't. And yeah, next time we will do the remaining 11 hours. Till then, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.